Joined. Yay, welcome, Hannah. We're just getting started. So finding your way into your comfortable seated position, beginning to take those last wriggles, stretches, anything that you need. Maybe you start to close down the eyes. Beautiful. Nice. And beginning to settle in, turning into your body, your practice today. Let's start by taking a really deep inhale through the nose, shoulders shrug up to the ears. On the exhale, let them just drop. I'm going to do it 2 more times. Inhale, shoulders shrug up. Exhale to drop. Last one. How much can you let them go? Exhale. Taking your inward focus all the way down to your sitting bones, noticing that connection with the earth. Maybe you have a gentle rock here from side to side to really feel that support beneath you. Feel into that sense of rooting down and that you are supported by the earth, this solid ground beneath you. It's not going anywhere. At the same time, begin to ripple up your awareness through the spine, one vertebrae at a time, creating more space as you go, imagining these little gaps growing between each vertebrae, tracking all the way up through the back of the neck and bringing the neck online with the rest of the spine as you draw the chin backwards and up, lifting up through the back of the head. Bringing your awareness to the whole of your body as you sit here, noticing all that is present, everything that you're bringing with you right now, today, to this practice, in your physical body. Noticing your energy levels. Know that you can take rest at any point if you need, and that this practice is totally yours. So if I'm not offering something that you would like to do, please feel free to take it. Beautiful. Beginning to notice your breath. Bringing your breath into your awareness now, and just notice if you maybe started to change the breath as I asked you to notice it. It can be really challenging not to do that. So something that's automatic usually in the body, in the system, it will alter as we start to take our awareness there. So just being with that. And if it feels good in your body, we'll begin to take a few deeper breaths. And we're not trying to charge to that final, really super deep breath. We're gradually, slowly easing into a deeper and longer breath. As you become more conscious, more aware, notice how that breath is moving through you. Does it feel really welcome to start breathing more deeply? Does it feel really nourishing? Or perhaps it's feeling quite challenging to breathe? Maybe somewhere in between. Noticing the rise and fall of your heart. Noticing the rib cage, the whole of the rib cage expanding forward, sideways, and backwards. And noticing the belly. Allow the belly to soften as it reaches forwards. Create space for your breath, for your organs. And so taking another 3 to 5 rounds of this really full, deep belly breath. Seeing if you can stay really focused. Notice if your mind drifts off with a thought. Come back to this breath in your body for this moment. Wiggling the jaw, notice if it's become tight. Either staying with these full deep breaths, if this is feeling good, was the option to come into our pranayama practice today of Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing. So we're looking to purify the system, the nadis, these channels of the body, these energy channels, breathing through one nostril, activating the opposite hemisphere of the brain, and then breathing in through the opposite nostril to find that balance of the system. Okay. So we'll be using the peace fingers, taking them to that place between the eyebrows at your third eye, using these fingers as balance, We'll be using the thumb to close off the right nostril as we breathe in and out through the left. And then we'll be closing off the left nostril with the fourth and fifth finger as we breathe in and out through the right. So we're changing sides, and I'll be guiding you through this change. We'll be holding in the breath between each side. So if holding the breath doesn't feel good for you, or if you're pregnant, please don't hold the breath. Just continue breathing in your own rhythm on each side. So just seeing if you can stay present. Know that your mind might drift, you might get lost in the practice, and that's part of it. Seeing if you can bring yourself back into this practice. Okay, so joining in with me whenever you catch my rhythm. Taking those fingers to the space between the eyebrows. Take a deep inhale through both nostrils. Exhale both nostrils. Closing right nostril, inhale left. Hold both. Exhale right. Inhale right nostril. Hold both. Inward gaze is at the space between your eyebrows. Exhale left. Inhale left. Hold both. Notice if you're sitting forward, can you ease back into your body? Know that that next breath is coming. Exhale right. Inhale right. Hold both. Find that sense of ease here between the breaths. Softening jaw, softening the mind at the center. Exhale left. Inhale left. Sipping in every last drop before you hold both. Easing here, find space between the breath. Exhale right. Inhale right. Hold both. Explore this space. What is here? What is present for you? Exhale left. Last round, inhale left. Hold both nostrils, draw the chin towards the throat. Pause here. We're taking this for a little bit longer. If you need to take that breath, please take it. Don't be grasping for that next breath. But seeing if you can find that extra millisecond longer. Releasing both. Take a deep breath. And exhale it all out. Beginning to find a little bit of movement in the body, wriggling the spine, noticing if anywhere became tight, noticing how that practice landed in the body. Beautiful. And we'll all gently start to take some gentle rolls of the shoulders up to the ears and loop them all the way back and down. Moving with the breath. Inhale, shoulders roll up. Exhale, back and down. Last one. And exhale. All right. So taking your seated position slightly differently, hands come behind you. We take the right heel towards the left buttocks and cross the left leg over the top. So knees are stacking in Gomukhasana legs, drawing the feet back towards the shin, staying active in those feet. If this feels too tight on the knees, take one foot to the earth or uncross it completely. Beautiful. From here, we'll inhale, float the hands up to the sky. And on the exhale, we'll circle hands all the way behind you, taking the right hand over to the left, clasping your hands behind you. Beautiful. Really reaching the clasp to the seam of your waist. Beautiful. And start to draw the neck over towards that clasp. Beautiful. Nice. Really breathing into the length of that right side. And you can play with tilting the head down towards the earth gently and tilting the head back up to the sky, finding anywhere that feels really juicy to work into, maybe staying there. Beautiful. Staying with your breath. We've got 2 more. Beautiful. Last deep breath. And exhale, release. We'll inhale, float the hands back up to the sky. Exhale, circle hands behind you. This time the left hand comes all the way over to the right behind, clasping hands on the other side. Draw that clasp all the way around into the waist. Take a deep inhale, open. And exhale, tilting the head over towards the clasp. Beautiful. And moving into that neck, if it feels okay, if there's any tweaking, staying still or completely come out. Easing into that left side of the neck. Beautiful. Staying with that breath. Notice if you've lost it. And you keep staying focused here. Let's take another deep breath. And exhale. Beautiful. Slowly unraveling the hands. Reach the hands behind you to the earth. Unravel the legs. Right leg goes on top this time. We'll inhale, float the hands up to the sky. And exhaling, taking both elbows. We inhale, rise up, taking the shoulders away from the ears, however far back they can go. And then draw the ribs back in. Beautiful. So every inhale will lift a little bit taller. And exhale, maybe start to lean back a little bit. Notice how it feels. Beautiful. Stay active in those toes on the earth. Keep scooping the belly in. Every inhale, lifting taller. And every exhale, softening those shoulders a little bit. One more deep breath. And exhaling, releasing the hands, circling at the wrists, floating them all the way down. Gently unraveling those legs and coming over into your all fours position, starting to take your wild cat movement. So that wiggling of the spine, moving with the breath, coming into your free movement just for a few breaths. Using this time to explore how your body's feeling today. Using this movement as a way to collect that information. What's the story of your day? How is it imprinted in your body? Perhaps there are some older stories imprinted as well that you're noticing. How are you feeling today? Got another 2 breaths to explore. Last one. And exhaling, coming into your child's pose, knees as wide as the mat, feet close together, sinking your hips back, reaching into the palms. Let the head soften to the earth or to a cushion. We'll take a deep inhale here. Rib cage expands at the back of the heart. And exhale, really yield towards the earth, softening here. So inhaling, feeling expansion of the body in your child's pose. And exhaling to soften. Last one here. And exhale. Next inhale, we'll glide the heart forwards, coming into your Sphinx pose, making your way there, elbows underneath the shoulders, hands flat to the earth. Beautiful. Pressing into the earth with the whole of the bottom of the body, the feet press down, kneecaps hover, pubic bone presses down, scoop the belly in, roll the shoulders back, chin draws towards the throat. Find that length in the back of the neck once more, lifting skyward. Keep breathing here. Option to hover the elbows an inch off the mat if your back feels good. Option to walk your hands back a little bit further, keeping elbows bent. Keep plugging into the tops of the feet. Keep dragging the earth back towards you and rolling the shoulders back. One more deep breath. On the exhale, peel your heart forwards and down. Lengthen through the spine, fingertips wider than the mat, elbows high. On the inhale, we wave up through the spine. And on the exhale, take right shoulder to the center, look over the left. Nice. Inhale, wave up back to center. Exhale, wave down, left shoulder in the middle. Inhale, wave up. Exhale, right shoulder. Inhale, wave up. Exhale, left. Last one, back to center. Exhale, floating down. Hands come beneath the shoulders, draw the elbows in, tuck the toes under. Hover those knees off the mat, thighs are engaged. Scoop the belly in, option to rise up to tabletop or come with me into plank. Straight up into your plank pose, pressing the floor away. Pad each hand up and down a few times, finding your wrists stacked beneath the shoulders. Beautiful. Find more engagement in the body. Know the earth is there if you need to take rest. Knees can come down at any point. You're staying with me. Embrace the shakes. Scoop the belly in. Imagine you've got those lemons underneath the armpits. You don't want to let them go. Beautiful. Let's take another deep breath here. Exhale, option to lower down, low plank, hovering here. Knees can be resting. Inhale, rise up, high plank. Let's exhale, lift the hips high, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, lion's breath. One more, inhale. And exhale. Let's pedal each foot, bend each knee, explore your body in downward facing dog for a few breaths. Beautiful. And beginning to pad your hands slowly back towards the feet, bending into the knees at the back of the mat until you reach your Uttanasana forward fold, catching hold by the elbow. Have a sway from side to side. Beautiful. Bending your knees as much as you need here. Tipping the weight into the toes, so lifting those hips a little bit higher and then rippling through that spine to find length. So we find a little lift and length. Open up the heart and exhale, tip forwards to find more length through that spine, dangling here. Let's take another deep breath. And exhale, release the hands, come heavy like a rag doll, sink deeply into the knees, start to peel up through the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Moving slowly through the air. When you reach the top, no rush. We'll roll the shoulders up and gently loop them back and down. Beautiful. Next, inhale, float the hands up to the sky. Catch hold of the left wrist with the right hand. Reach it up and draw it over towards the right side. Sinking the hips over to the left. And we'll step the right foot behind and really press into that right foot. Beautiful. So right foot is in the opposite direction to the hands, easing down into that left side of the body. Let's inhale, float back up to center, step back, change wrists, reach tall, and step the other foot behind and ease over to the left, breathing all the way down that left side of the body. Inhale, float back up to center. Exhale, let the hands drop. Beautiful. Walking to the front of your mat if you haven't made your way there. Coming to Tadasana mountain pose, feet hip distance apart, closing down the eyes. Pausing for a moment, feel both feet on the earth. Take a few little gentle bounces up and down. Beautiful. Rooting down. Gently fluttering your eyelids open to a soft gaze. We'll inhale, float the hands up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or jump back to plank, lower down, full or half chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth. We'll inhale, float right leg up to the sky for three-legged dog. Exhale, draw knee to nose. We'll inhale, rise up to the sky. Exhale, knee to nose. Last one, reach it skywards. Exhale, knee to nose. Place the foot between the hands, lower the left knee. Beautiful. Inhale, rise up with the hands. Exhale, hands either side of the front foot. Beautiful. Tuck the back toe, lift the back knee. Runner's lunge, roll the shoulders back. Beautiful. We'll inhale, float the hands ahead of you in runner's lunge. Belly softens away from the thigh. Reach into that back heel. Plug into the front foot. One more breath. Exhale here. We'll inhale, float up, warrior one. Beautiful. Exhale here, sinking deeply into that front knee. Beautiful. Inhale, rise up, lengthen through that front leg. Exhale, sink back into that knee. We'll inhale, float up, lengthen the front leg. Exhale to sink back. Last one, reach up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, reach forwards, forwards, forwards as far as you can, and lower the hands to the earth. Beautiful. One breath here. And exhale. Next, inhale, bend into that front knee, sweep the hands behind you, float the back foot up, warrior three. Coming into your T shape. Finding your Virabhadrasana 3, take your eye gaze steady. Take your time. Beautiful. Pressing into the standing foot, lifting up and out of the standing hip. Nice, everyone. We've got another breath here. And exhale. On the inhale, we'll float up to the sky, bringing that knee with you, reaching both hands skywards. And on the exhale, right hand sweeps around the front of the shin, left hand circles back. Beautiful. Rolling that left hand all the way, left shoulder all the way back. Option to stay here, or maybe you find the foot with the hand and extend forwards. Finding somewhere that you feel good, knee can stay bent. Keep plugging into the standing foot, lifting up and out of that standing hip. One more breath. Exhale here, leaving the foot or the knee where it is, hands reach up. Exhale, sweep back into your warrior three. Beautiful. One more deep breath here. Exhale, plant the back foot at the back of the mat, warrior two, open out, reverse warrior. Exhale, take forearm to thigh and reach up and over. Extended side angle. Beautiful. Inhale to reverse. Exhale, take forearm to thigh. Moving through these two postures, inhale, reverse, stay bent in that front knee. Exhale, take forearm to thigh. Last one, reverse. We're pausing here. Option to lift the front heel. Maybe left hand sweeps behind you towards the inner seam of that right thigh. Sink deeper into the front knee. Beautiful. Plug down into that front foot, but arc up and back into the right side of the body. One more breath. On the exhale, lengthen the front leg, bend the back knee. Take your hands to your heart, retreat. Beautiful. Opening up the heart. Breathing into the right inner seam of that thigh. One more breath. And exhale here. Next, inhale, we'll sweep forwards into that front knee. Hands come either side of that front foot. Step back into plank or one-legged plank and lower down through full or half chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth. One more, inhale. And exhale. All right, everyone, feel the balance between the two sides in your downward facing dog. Plug down into those hands. Spread the fingers wide. Maintain that balance between the two sides as you inhale, float that left leg up to the sky. On the exhale, draw knee to nose, crunch in. Inhale, glide back up. Exhale, knee to nose, crunch in. Inhale, reach up. Last time, crunch in, lift the knee higher, place the foot between the hands, lower the right knee. Inhale, rise up, low lunge. Exhale, hands either side of the front foot. We'll tuck the back toe, lift the back knee. You can hop it in slightly if that helps you feel more stable. Runner's lunge, roll the shoulders back away from the ears. Lift the belly off the thighs, stay active in that back heel, reach the hands forwards. Beautiful, gaze is ahead of you, staying strong. Imagine like you're holding a big beach ball between your hands. You don't want to let it go. Keep breathing. Beautiful. One more deep breath. Exhale here. We'll inhale, rise up, warrior one, turning that back foot. And exhale here, sink deeply into the front knee. We'll inhale, lengthen the front leg, reach up. Exhale to sink. Inhale to float. Exhale to sink. Last one, reach up. And on the exhale, lengthening forwards, reaching. Left hip keeps reaching back as your hands reach forwards. And then letting the hands go when you reach your maximum. Both legs are straight. We take a deep inhale here. And exhale. Next inhale, bending into that front knee, sweeping the hands up, turning the back foot. Beautiful. Oh, and I've missed one out. We're rising up to warrior three, aren't we? Beautiful. Switching it up there. Finding yourself in that Virabhadrasana 3, your floating warrior. Plugging down into the standing foot. Pressing back into the floating foot. Notice if that left hip has cocked up to the side. The right hip, sorry. Can you lower it so it's level with the left? Find that length in the back of the neck once more. Well done. One more deep breath. Exhale here. We'll inhale, rise up to standing, drawing your knee all the way up to the chest. Both hands lift up towards the sky. Exhale, left hand scoops around the front of the shin, right hand circles back. Beautiful. We inhale, lift a little bit taller, roll both shoulders back. Maybe you slide the left hand to the outside of the foot and extend the leg forwards. It might stay really bent, or you might lengthen. You decide. Make sure you're not curling in those shoulders. Keep rolling the shoulders back. Beautiful. One more deep breath. Find that balance. Exhale, release the foot, but keep it where it is. Reach both hands skywards. Beautiful. Exhale, sweep the hands back, coming into your warrior three. Beautiful. On the exhale, planting that foot down at the back of the mat, opening out, reverse warrior. Beautiful. Exhale, take forearm to thigh, reach up and over, moving gracefully between these two postures. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, forearm to thigh. Last one, reverse. Pause here, lifting that front heel if it feels good. Stay deeply bent in the front knee. Right arm might sweep behind you towards that left thigh. Beautiful. Anchor down. Arc back, breathe into the left side of the body. One more breath. On the exhale, lengthen the front leg, bend the back knee, hands to the heart. Retreat. Beautiful. Open up the heart. Sink deep into those hips. Even play around with tilting the pelvis here. Notice where you feel it. Nice. One more deep breath. And on the exhale, we're sweeping back to the front of the mat. Hands come either side of that front foot. Tuck the back toe, lift the back knee, step back into plank or one-legged and lower down. Full or half chaturanga. Beautiful. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. One more inhale. And exhale. Next inhale, we'll bend the knees, look forward, step, fly, or float to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Maybe there's a back bend at the top. And exhale, take your hands to your heart space. Beautiful. Coming back to this place. Taking those few deep inhales and exhales through the mouth. Restoring that balance in your system. So using all of these practices that we know through pranayama, through asana, to keep coming back to this theme of balance in the body. How can you find more balance for you? We've got 3 more breaths here. Staying focused, staying present in your body. Notice what's there, the heart rate, the breath. And fluttering your eyelids open to a soft gaze once more. We'll inhale to float the hands up to the sky, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or jump back to plank, lower down, full or half chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Or inhale, float right leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, crunch in. Inhale, glide back up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, reach all the way up. And on the exhale, take knee to right elbow, pause here. Can you lift that knee a little bit higher? Beautiful. Maybe you take the knee down to the wrist and then lift it back up to the elbow and down to the wrist. Back up to the elbow and then place the foot to the outside of that right hand. Well done, everyone. Coming into your lizard lunge, having a little wiggle here. Circling around those hips. You can take the knee to the earth or keep it lifted. Have a little exploration here of your hips. You might walk the right foot off the mat, point the toes out, even take the hand to the inner seam of that thigh if that feels good. Just exploring your pelvis here. Maybe like you're stirring up a big pot with your pelvis. Taking it in both directions. And then pausing somewhere that you feel you can stay in stillness and stay in your breath. This might be a deeper stretch coming down onto forearms. Or you might like to stay on the hands and maybe you tuck the back toe and keep that back knee lifted if you want a bit more power. Beautiful. Finding anything that allows you to soften here. You might even lift the back foot and circle the hand round if you want a slightly different stretch here, opening up into the heart and the shoulder. Exploring what feels good for you. You've got another 3 breaths here, giving the jaw a little wiggle from side to side. The jaw and the pelvis are best friends. We're seeing if softening one has any impact on the other. We've got 1 more deep breath here. And exhale, releasing gently out of the posture in whatever form you're in, hands beneath the shoulders, spreading those hands wide. Everyone tucking the back toe, lifting the back knee. We're stepping the left foot forward to the front, coming into our squat pose. Beautiful. So sinking down into the hips, hands can stay on the earth. Beautiful. And option 2, lift the hands coming into prayer and using your elbows to open up into those thighs. Roll the shoulders back. Notice if you're collapsing down into the hips, can you get this sense of lifting up and out, scooping the belly in? Beautiful. Activating into Mula Bandha, this energy lock at the base of the body in the perineum. Scoop the belly in and up, Uddiyana Bandha. Draw the chin towards the throat, Jalandhara Bandha, this great energy lock through the body. And closing down the eyes, noticing what's here in this space right now for you. So you notice your heartbeat. Perhaps you notice your breath. Maybe there's a sensation in the body. 1 more here. And exhale. We'll inhale, rise all the way up to standing, pressing into those heels, lifting up, squeezing the glutes. And turning the toes in, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, find halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step or jump back to plank, lower down, full or half chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Take a deep, beautiful breath in. Exhale. Other side, inhale, float left leg up. Exhale, knee to nose, crunch in. Inhale, glide up. Exhale, knee to nose. Last one, reach up. Exhale, knee to left elbow, pause here. Lift the knee higher. Lower the knee down to the wrist. Knee back up to the elbow. Back down to the wrist. Beautiful. Lift it up last time. Place the foot to the outside of that left hand and coming into your lizard lunge. Well done. Having a little explore here. Oh, it's hard doing that while you're speaking at the same time. All right, finding your pelvis again on this side. Notice if it feels any different to the last. Again, you can lower the back knee or keep it lifted. You can move that foot out to the side, walking the foot off, turning the toes out. Hand can come to the inner seam of the thigh. Beautiful. Maybe you're stirring up that big pot with your hips. Nice. Making a nice big soup. All right, then eventually finding that place where you can find stillness just for a few breaths. It might be lowering onto forearms. Maybe you lift the back knee up, or maybe you float the back foot up and circle left hand around to find the foot. And adjust the body to suit whichever variation you found. Find a sense of softness here, even if it doesn't feel soft. Focus on those deeper exhales through the mouth. Soften the shoulders or anywhere else in the body that doesn't need to be switched on. Finding as much ease that you can. We've got one more breath. And exhale. Slowly easing back onto your hands if you've come off them. Tucking the back toe, lifting the back knee, scoop the belly in and step forwards into your squat pose. Nice, everyone. All right, option to take the same version that we just took, or option to have a play with crow pose. If you haven't practiced crow pose before, then coming with me. If you have a crow, then coming up. So we'll be taking the hands down to the earth, getting as low as possible, and then scooping the elbows underneath the shins. So we're really opening up those elbows and then taking the hands to the earth. Then we start to lift up into the hips. Beautiful. We tiptoe into those toes. We tip forwards, bending the elbows. Maybe one foot lifts up and lowers down. We do not have to take flight at any point. Beautiful. If you've got a slippery t-shirt on your arms, it's going to be tricky, like me. Beautiful. You might start to float one foot up, scoop the belly in, and then the other. Taking the gaze ahead of you. Beautiful. Nice, everyone. Oh. Keep squeezing the elbows together. Nice. Keep lifting up into the belly. Think of this sense of like scooping the belly in and up, finding that Uddiyana Bandha. Nice. Take the gaze ahead of you, chin forwards. Really good. You've got another breath to explore, to play. If you have a shoot back into your plank, you're welcome to come into it. Beautiful. If not, taking the hands down, let's all step or jump back into plank and lower down through full or half chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, up dog. This time, exhale, sink back, child's pose. One deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. We inhale, walk the hands back towards the knees, sweep the feet out to the side, reach them all the way forwards, coming into your Dandasana, releasing the flesh from the sitting bones, toes draw towards the shins. We're coming down towards the earth, so we're taking the hands up to the sky. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. On the exhale, reaching your hands directly in front of you. Stay active in those toes. We'll start to round through the spine. Any tweaking in the back, take support with the hands. Otherwise, engaging here with me. Beautiful. Rounding through each vertebrae. Your heels will slide back. That's okay. Keep moving through slowly. When you find that resistance, that place you might drop, find that control. Dig deep. Move slowly through it. When you start to reach the earth, peel up one vertebrae at a time. Nice. Moving slowly, keep breathing. When you reach the earth, floating the hands up and overhead, take a deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth. One more, inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Slowly easing in towards, I'm going to slide down my mat. Coming towards a shoulder stand if that feels good for you. Option to take a restorative shoulder stand with your feet over the hips and your hips staying on the earth. You can take a bolster or a cushion underneath the hips for support here, or option to lift your hips up, walking your hands up the back, supporting yourself here and pointing into those toes. Zipping up through the midline, draw the belly in, scoop into the buttocks. Imagine I'm reaching your toes all the way up to the sky, lifting you here. We've got one more breath. Option to come into plow pose, feet come behind you, legs can stay straight or knees can bend, finding whatever feels good, and you can clasp your hands on the earth here. Feeling into the back line of the body, noticing if it feels really tight. Can you take those deeper breaths? Nice, 2 more. Last one. And slowly easing yourself out, taking your hips with your hands to lower yourself back to the earth. Gently easing down. You can bend into the knees or bring your feet with your legs lengthened to lower down. Beautiful. When you arrive on the earth, taking any last little wriggles, snuggles under. Maybe your feet come together, knees can flop out to the side. You can support your knees with a cushion, taking any blankets, socks, jumpers here that help you to feel supported as we come into our final resting posture. And just to let you know, it is 1:45 at the moment. So if you need to dash off anywhere, if there's anywhere you need to be, just letting you know that I'm running over a little bit. Turning any lights down, changing the track of the music if it's not quite right. If you're on my playlist, there are some softer songs towards the end. You could come to, there's a purple one called Gentle something, or Calm something. Nice. Beautiful. And once you've landed on the earth, taking a deep inhale through the nose, feel the body expand. And exhale, let the body just soften. Taking as many of these deep exhales through the mouth that you need to really land here and to ease into the body. Allowing the whole body to settle towards the earth. Allow the body to become heavy. Taking a scan from your feet and working your way up all the way to the crown of the head. And checking in, noticing if you're holding anywhere, if there's any resistance in any part of the body that doesn't need to have any there. Give those places permission to switch off and let go. You holding anything in those shoulders. We often hold the weight of the world quite literally on our shoulders. And when we notice them, we find that there's a lot there that we didn't even realize. So allowing the right arm to be really heavy, allowing the left arm to be really heavy. Noticing if you're gripping those muscles at the base of the skull. You find a way to soften those muscles. Take your attention there. Allow the head to be really heavy, completely supported by the earth beneath. Give the jaw a wiggle from side to side. And then actually open the jaw really wide just for a moment, like you're screaming. And then let it go. Gently parting the lips. And allowing the tongue to soften back towards the earth. Eyes drift back towards the earth and release the grip of the muscles around them to allow this. And resting your inward focus at the space between your eyebrows once more. Staying here in this place of pure consciousness, of balance. Noticing as any thoughts drift on in to your conscious awareness. And the invitation is to see if you can resist that temptation. And if you get swept along and you notice without any judgment at all, bring yourself back to the place between the eyebrows in this meditation. Just be a few moments and I'll bring you back into the room. Noticing if your mind has wandered off. And either bringing yourself back into your body or choosing to stay in your Shavasana for a little longer. Completely up to you. So you're coming with me, slowly easing back in, finding a little bit of movement, rocking the head gently, and eventually taking the knees over the chest and hugging in. There might be a little rock from side to side. As your awareness in the body starts to increase, you might start to take the knees over to the right hand side, coming into a little hug on the floor, feeling supported by the earth here. And take a deep inhale and exhale through the mouth. And in your own time, beginning to think about rising up to seated, close the practice. Really mindfully and staying in this really internal place, beginning to come up. You can keep your eyes closed, or if your eyes are open, keeping them really soft. And when you find yourself in that seated position, think about rooting back down through the sitting bones, with more awareness lifting up through the heart, finding that rippling awareness through the spine as you reach up through the back of the neck and lift up through the crown of the head. On the inhale, we'll float the hands out and up, reaching all the way up to the sky, gathering energy up between the palms. On your exhale, washing the energy down through your center line, arriving at your heart space in Anjali Mudra, finding this feeling of balance in your system through these practices of asana, pranayama. And bowing your head down towards your hands, having a moment of gratitude for all of these teachings, rooted in South Asia, India, and also all over. And having a moment of gratitude for anything else in this moment that you feel really grateful for, your life, your practice, or a person perhaps. And there's no rush, but whenever you feel ready, rising back up. And thank you for your practice. Thank you for being here, back in this online space. If you want to say anything, you're really welcome. If you want to just carry on staying in that really inward place, you're really welcome to just gently close off. But thank you for being here. And if you want the recording, just let me know and I can send it to you. Switch the recording off now. And oops, you're really welcome, Hannah. And I will see you next week in the class. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Have a nice evening, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Have a lovely evening. Bye.